She in the mirror like it's showtime, the Apollo. Catch up the phone, now I pull up in the Tahoe. Thought it's boring, I ain't calling unless she swallow. She don't listen, I ain't tripping, she don't follow. Got another wetty swerving on her potholes. Got another thought, he thinks she hit the lotto. She pop a perky, then she chase it with Moscato. This bitch is bad, she fucking all the drug dealers. I took his bitch and then I took his plug, nigga. Have her back, I'm getting to the bag, nigga. Bust in your house, I'm running through your stash, nigga. On the grand flashing all that cash, nigga. Part in my back, I'm counting all these stacks, nigga. Gucci duffel Louis on my ass, nigga. Hennessy and TNT, we blast, nigga. Ferragamo on my dress, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the hoe just wobble wobble. Just thought he fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African swing, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. This whole ain't sick, she fucking on the damn crew. Coming out of sock, she lost her damn shoe. Her friend and poppin', she ain't got no damn clue. Rollin' O's and weed and smoking bamboo. Smoking gelato when the Tahoe smell the fucking jar. She wanna ride with me cause we look like some movie stars. This thotty moving faster than a speeding car. Coming through the door with no panties on. Poppin' Molly's and you know she took a Zanny bar. Talking about a Mazda is a family car. I hit her with a curve, then the coup de grace. Zillow games, I'm shaking up the dice, baby. She wanna stay with me so we can meet the night, baby. She wanna be with me so I can lay the pipe, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. Ferragamo on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the hoe just wobble wobble. Just thought he fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African swing, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. Reppin' the road, foreign daddies with my name and they toes. These daddies will knock me out and she put the seat back in the Odyssey. Prodigy, little mama wanna suck and just swallow me, wax ties. Welcome to the check-in report. I am your humble yet gracious host, True and Living. I'm in the building. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only macaroni. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday afternoon, your Sunday evening. I hope you guys are, I hope you guys are tuckered in. I hope you guys are chilling at your homes, place of residence. We got a show tonight. We got something to talk about. TDE Punch, a label owner of TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, the former label of Kendrick Lamar, has criticized Micheal Eric Dyson. Salute to Professor Micheal Eric Dyson. Good brother. But TDE Punch has criticized Micheal Eric Dyson, and actually he's dissed him in a new song for Micheal Eric Dyson criticizing Kendrick Lamar for the whole beef. So we have what's his name? TDE Punch dissing a professor for coming at Kendrick Lamar. I have something to ask, and before I ask that, we have to come to a conclusion that this is the biggest rap beef of all time. Right? Well, listen, there have been plenty of rap beefs throughout history. I mean, we can go back to the infamous KRS-One and the MC Shans, the Bridge Wars. We can go back to the NWAs versus the Ice Cubes. We can go back in time, the LLs versus the Cannabises, right? We can go back to the Jay-Z's and the Nas's, the Tupacs and the Biggies. In my opinion, at this particular point in time, all of those battles pale in comparison to the magnitude of this battle between Kendrick and Drake. That's a fact. Pale in comparison. Pales in comparison.
So, for us still holding on to a lot of those older battles from back in the day, I don't think none of those battles can measure up. We're talking about #1 records. We're talking about Grammys. We're talking about the most eyes on diss songs. We're talking about the biggest artists in the game. We're talking about one of the most acclaimed artists in the game. We're talking about rumors and all types of allegations and conspiracies and all of the things wrapped in together, lawsuits, collusion, botting. So much was put into this battle. Questioning blackness, right? Sexual deviancy. So much was put into this battle. Domestic violence. So much was put into this battle. Right? So I'm just saying that, when it comes to the magnitude of this battle, I just don't think any other battle compels in comparison. Were some disrespectful things said in other battles? Yes. Were some, were some things alleged, were some things, said, did people get hurt? A lot of battles. Did things go too far in a couple of battles? Yeah, I would definitely say with the Tupac and Big, definitely went too far. But in my opinion, this is the biggest battle in hip-hop history. Every other battle, in my opinion, in my lifetime, pales in comparison to this battle, right? So I just want to lay that out there. For those holding on to any type of, another battle that was bigger, I disagree. I think this was the biggest battle. Now let's get into Micheal Eric Dyson's original quotes and what he said, because I want to do the historicity of how we got here. Right, we started with the battle. We all know about the battle. I mean, the battle has been, it's been talked to and talked about, in terms of, into oblivion. Right, we've seen videos, breakdowns, and we've seen all of that right now. I think it's important for us to start at the beginning. But let's get into Micheal Eric Dyson's original comments about Kendrick Lamar. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was in agreement with a lot of things he said. A lot of things he said, in my opinion, resonated true. They resonated as truth to me. Salute to Vent. I see Vent is in the building. We got 4 people in the building. Hey, make sure I hit that like button. For the people that's in the building, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. What does Vent say? Vent says, I mean to vote. No. MED is a chatty patty. Okay. Salute to everybody that's in the chat right now. Hit that like button if you can, please. Hit that like button. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Let's get into Micheal Eric Dyson's original comments, right? Where he was criticizing Kendrick Lamar. Now let's play the full video, and then we're gonna go through a little bit what he said. But let's play the full video first, then we'll go through what he said. Right? So let's get into the video.
I remember I worked at Fox Sports, and there was a big argument between DeMarco Farr. You remember Brian Cox? Yeah, as DeMarco Farr walked away, we're like, are you cool? And he said to us, man, fuck him, he's half. And I was like, that exists? Wow. Like, there was a whole...
internal... Oh, yeah. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Most people would acknowledge Kendrick as genius, but not Drake, right? Drake is commercially viable. He's a monster. He sells records. But is he as deep?
There's a genius to that, though.
Oh, come on, bro. You understand that. Drake is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar, implicitly and explicitly, not like us. The song is the song, whatever you think about it. But the notion itself, big distinction, us versus them. And they're trying to de-black Drake, right? Oh, he's not really black because he grew up in Canada, I grew up in Compton. Bro, you're reducing blackness to Compton? Did you not know that black people fled America going to Canada to escape the iron tyranny of enslavement? And he ain't black. His daddy is black. He went to Memphis every summer. The Memphis Horns fill his music, the first albums Drake made. His grandmama babysat Aretha Franklin.
Really?
And his uncle is Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. How much, what black card he got to show? And on his album, Damn, that won the Pulitzer Prize, I like to remind the acolytes of Mr. Lamar that He says, I ain't black, don't call me black no more, because he was into black Hebrew stuff. And Drake said, light skin, but still a dark N-word. So I'm saying, that's your God? So to me, yeah, that still exists. You're not as black as me. You're not as righteous as me. What did he say? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. What other figure in black music has ever been called a colonizer? Because he experiments widely with music. Kendrick, who put you on tour first? Oh, it was a guy named Drake. So this inability to not only have gratitude for where you came from, but to understand blackness is far deeper and more exhaustive than any one nationality or race or people can make it.
Now, I got to be honest with you. I agree with about 99% of what he said. 99% of what he said. There was this smug attitude when Kendrick was making these records, coming at Drake, that as he was speaking for all black people. And I have a notion with that. I take issue with that. And who is Kendrick Lamar to question the blackness of Drake? Who is Kendrick Lamar? What makes Kendrick Lamar more blacker, in you guys' opinion, than Drake? Is it because he comes from Compton? Is it because he's from Los Angeles? Like, what makes him more blacker than Drake? You
don't find that suspicious?
There was this type of notion. There was this, he's from Canada, I'm from over here, and you're not like us. There was this attitude. There was this smugness. Now let's get into what he said again, because I was just listening. I wanted to hear it in full context. I'm going to be stopping it and talking about the points he brought up. All right, let's get back into it.
I worked at Fox Sports, and there was a big argument between DeMarco Farr. You remember Brian Cox? Yeah, as DeMarco Farr walked away, we're like, "Are you cool?" And he said to us, "Man, fuck him. He's half." And I was like,
and see, that is a thing that is prevalent in the black community. And I think that, in my opinion, Kendrick Lamar played into that. He played into the colorism. Because, yes, that does exist in our communities. Oh, he's half. She's half. They're biracial. You're not really black. Only your mama black, or only your father black. You're only half black. You ain't grow up in the hood like us. There is that type of attitude in the black community. Kendrick played onto that. He played into the tribalism. He played into the you're not black enough thing. Even though this is the same man who's married to a biracial woman. But he played into that notion. Let's continue.
Like, that exists? Like, there was a whole
internal. Oh, yeah. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Most people would acknowledge Kendrick as genius, but not Drake, right? Drake is commercially viable.
And why is that? Why, as a community, do we look at Drake and we try to diminish the man? We try to belittle the man. I think it would be a credit to us to have Drake, to welcome him with open arms. And again, I don't look at Drake as this biracial, colonizer, all of the narratives that that Kendrick put into the music. I look at Drake as a black man. Drake has a foundational black American father. He has heritage in this country. His family's from Memphis. Who is Kendrick to question his blackness? Is it just because he grew up in Canada? Is it because he was on Degrassi? Like, what is Kendrick saying exactly is disqualifying Drake from being black? Is it because he has a Jewish mother? What is it?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Like what is it? Because if you're going to say these things, right? If you're going to put these things in record, then you're going to be alienated, and a lot of people should feel alienated by this record. Not like us, Grammy Award-winning record. You should feel alienated if you're biracial. You should feel alienated if you felt like, your blackness was being attacked. Because essentially, in the record, he was attacking Drake's blackness. Let's just be real. You were attacking Drake's blackness. You were calling him a PDF. Right? You were, and essentially it was a diss record. In a diss record, that's what you do. You diminish people, you critique people, you make up a bunch of lies. I mean, all diss records have that. But at the meat and potatoes, you question Drake's blackness, and in my opinion, who is Kendrick Lamar to question? Who made Kendrick Lamar the chief of all blackness? That's what I want to get down to. Who made Kendrick Lamar the king of all blacks? Because I don't know him to be that. I've never seen Kendrick Lamar on the front lines of any struggle. I've never seen him on the front lines for reparations. I've never seen him on the front lines for any type of hate crime bill. He made a song. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But in terms of being a part of the struggle, using your voice, being on the front lines, and actually doing the work, not just making a song, but actually being on the front lines, we have not seen that from Mr. K. Lamar. Have we or have we not? Fire! 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 So who is he to question anyone's blackness? Let's continue.
A monster. He sells records. But is he as deep?
There's a genius to that, though.
Oh, come on, bro. You understand that. Drake.
I can sit up here and admit that both of these artists are geniuses. Both of these artists, I think that both of these artists are our modern day Michael Jackson and Prince. This is Kendrick Lamar and Drake. You could compare them to our modern day Michael and Prince. You can compare them to that. I think that they are that talented, they are that good, they are that acclaimed, and they are warranted of that respect. Let's continue, though.
Is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar, implicitly and explicitly, not like us. The song is the song, whatever you think about it. But the notion itself, big distinction, us versus them. And they're trying to de-black Drake. Right? Oh, he's not really black because he grew up in Canada. I grew up in Compton. Bro, you're reducing blackness to Compton?
That's a fact. I felt like in that record as well that he was reducing blackness. He was reducing blackness. Just because you didn't grow up in Compton and you didn't put a rag around your head, or you didn't grow up in the projects, or you didn't grow up in the ghetto, or you didn't grow up like this, or you didn't grow up like that, you're not black. You have people running with these narratives. You have people running with these notions that is the black experience. Growing up in the hood, growing up in gangs, poverty, pain. This is what being black is about. Is that really what being black is about? I'm saying this is what Kendrick crafted in his brain, trying to diminish Drake. So I'm just, we're just using the source material, and we're just talking about Micheal Eric Dyson's point. Let's continue.
Did you not know that black people fled America going to Canada
That's another thing. Because so many people, I see a lot of people online and they say, well, Drake is from Canada. He ain't really black. You know how many black people did flee into Canada? They fled into Nova Scotia. They fled into many different places trying to escape slavery. So, but we're reducing blackness to a black American thing. And listen, I'm a foundational black American. But he did reduce blackness to this one thing. He didn't take into account that Drake's father is a foundational black American father. Just like Kendrick's father is a foundational black American man and a father. So let's continue.
Escape the iron tyranny of enslavement, and he ain't black. His daddy is black. He went to Memphis every summer. The Memphis Horns fill his music, the first albums Drake made. His grandmama babysat Aretha Franklin.
And think about this for a second, right? Drake comes from a lineage of black history musicians. Think about it. His father, his uncle played. Let's pull up Drake's uncle real quick. Drake's uncle. Drake's uncle, Larry Graham. Larry Graham was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Sly and the Family Stone. Drake comes from a lineage of black musical icons and legends. His blood, he comes from the blood of black musical icons. But Kendrick tried to diminish that. He tried to diminish his legacy. He tried to diminish where he came from. Like, oh no, let's not take a look at that. I mean, Kendrick probably comes from a lineage of drug users, gang members. Oh, but that's more black. That's more black than Drake's lineage. That's more black. I'm only using the narrative that Kendrick tried to use. This is the narrative that Kendrick tried to use. Let's continue.
Really? And his uncle is Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. How much? What black card he got to show? And on his album Damn, that won the Pulitzer Prize, I like to remind the acolytes of Mr. Lamar that he says, I ain't black, don't call me black no more, because he was in the black.
He did say that. So the same nigga saying Drake ain't black and he's not like us and yada, 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 you was on your record talking about I'm not black no more. Don't call me black no more. He did say that, right? I guess, because like he said, he was identifying with the black Israelites, and that's fine and dandy, but you did say that you're not black anymore. You took that off of you. So you're telling Drake you're not like us, but you've already taken that notion off of you. Listen, I do have a gripe with Kendrick Lamar. I don't feel like he treated Drake like a brother. I think there comes a point in time in a battle where you have to ease up. You got to ease up, right? And I look at battles like Nas and Drake. Excuse me, not Nas and Drake. Nas and Jay-Z. There was a point in time where both of them eased up. It comes a point in time where you gotta ease up. Jay-Z, he got on the microphone. I don't know if you guys remember this. Maybe I should pull it up. Jay-Z got on the Hot 97. He apologized to Nas for bringing his baby mother and his daughter into the whole battle. Jay-Z's mother said he should apologize. Nas came on the radio at one particular point in time. Funkmaster Flex asked him about that, about Jay-Z apologizing and saying that his mother told him to do so. Nas respected it. And throughout that whole battle, Nas called Jay-Z his brother, right? Now let's fast forward to this battle, right? Kendrick did not treat Drake like a brother. You treated this man like he's done nothing for you. This man brought you on your first tour. This man this man has helped you at many points in times in your career, and you did not treat this man like a brother. You treated this man like a charlatan. There was a point in time where you needed to ease up. Now, listen, I agree that you guys both crossed the line. I agree that Drake and Kendrick both crossed the line. Drake, he crossed the line by talking about domestic violence and your baby's not really yours. I mean, a lot of that was messy too. A lot of stuff we can't act like Drake wasn't doing things as well. Drake was doing things as well. But I felt like the battle had hit a point in time where, listen, it was over. It was over. Kendrick was declared the winner, but I felt like Kendrick decided to stick the knife in even deeper. Because it was beneficial for his career. He wasn't thinking like a brother. He was thinking, this is beneficial for my career. At no point in time did he ease up. I don't feel like he eased up. Now he's probably trying to ease up because he's trying to get away from that moment because, he's benefited as much as he can from that moment. But at the particular point in time, he was putting the knife in even deeper. Let's continue though.
Hebrew stuff. And Drake said light skin, but still a dark N-word. So I'm saying that's your God. So to me, yeah, that still exists. You're not as black as me. You're not as righteous as me. What did he say? You're not a colleague. You're a colonizer. What other figure in black music has ever been called a colonizer? Because he experiments widely with music. Kendrick, who put you on tour first? Oh, it was a guy named Drake.
That's a fact. Drake was the first one to put him on tour. Drake was the first one to, really put his arms around him as a young artist and say, let me take you on tour. Let me help you get to the next level in your career. It wasn't Jay-Z. And all these other guys, you D-Rodden. It was Drake who gave you that opportunity. Jay-Z wasn't going to take you on tour. And none of these other guys, your D-Rodden wasn't going to take you on tour. It was Drake.
So this inability to not only have gratitude for where you came from, but to understand blackness is far deeper and more exhaustive than any one nationality or race or people can make it.
I agree. Now, that was the first statement, right? Now we're going to go into, the phases, because there were different phases of this thing, right? So he goes on the Stephen A. show, and he goes in even deeper. He talks a little bit. Let's see what he said here.
He goes into one style, and he does that. And he goes over to UK drill, and he does that.
He's talking about the different styles of Drake. Let's continue.
He goes into one style, and he does that. And he goes over to UK drill, and he does that. He goes over to bounce music. He does that. He deals with the Caribbean. He does this. Why are you looking at a positive as a negative? Cinco de Mayo just passed. They had a special Cinco de Mayo a celebration for Jay-Z in Cinco de Mayo, because Jay-Z has been attracted to Latino culture, speaking Spanish all through his music, and they had an entire program celebrating Jay-Z. Was Jay-Z a culture?
And don't forget OG Juan. Don't forget OG Juan now, his brother, his right hand now.
Come on, bro.
Juan first, please. Come on now. We all know Juan.
And Desiree Perez, his wife.
That's right.
That is OJ Juan, and the woman who runs his Rock Nation. So the point is that is Jay-Z a culture vulture? No. We have to stop this narrow, punishing, pernicious, limited viewpoint about blackness. Yes, have a debate about who's the greatest. Have a debate about rhetorical skills. But let me tell you what, as Lupe Fiasco, no slouch as a rhetorician, and one of the greatest lyricists ever, said that he would put Drake slightly above Kendrick Lamar. That's a minority position, but it's a very powerful one.
That's not a minority decision, because I would put Drake over Kendrick Lamar as well. In terms of a well-rounded artist, as far as a well-rounded artist, an artist that can sing, rap, put bodies of work together, Drake is a more well-rounded artist. Kendrick has great concepts. He's a great, rapper, a great writer, great ideas, he makes great bodies of work. But in terms of the full roundedness, being an artist, making hit songs, singing, performing, making great bodies of work as well, Drake is more well-rounded, in my opinion. So I don't think that opinion is in the minority. In my opinion,
he's saying that Drake got bars,
right? So that was just him, going further and just talking about, just Drake. Because I do think there is this, revisionist history on Drake. Like, Drake is one of the greatest rappers of all time, right? But there are these people, you got the Ebros, you got the Elliot Walsh, you got a lot of people that are just trying to diminish the legacy of Drake, trying to diminish his, his outputting and things like that. And I'm not here to, to hop on the bandwagon or sing the praises of Drake. This is just me, giving my opinion on how I feel about this situation, right? Now, at some point in time, Jay-Z got to this man. I don't know how Jay-Z got to him, but Jay-Z got to this man.
Some people think, well, it ain't that serious, and that's not what's going on.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Some people think, well, it ain't that serious.
And I thought it was weird how Jay-Z got to him. How did Jay-Z get to Micheal Eric Dyson? How did Jay-Z get to Micheal Eric Dyson? How did Jay-Z, first of all, how did Jay-Z get Micheal Eric Dyson's number? I want to know that. How did he get Micheal Eric Dyson's number? I need to know that. But somehow he got to this man, right? So let's play that.
Some people think, well, it ain't that serious, and that's not what's going on. My job as a scholar is to show you that stuff you didn't think was that serious might be a bit more serious than you think. I could be wrong, to be sure. So I don't say it with the kind of arrogance that some of my interlocutors on the internet have suggested. And let me tell you something. A very dear and good friend of mine disagrees with me bitterly. Well, I won't say bitterly, just aggressively and vigorously. His name is Sean Carter. But
Jay-Z had to call this man about the Drake and Kendrick beef. He had to call this man about this beef. He had to call him. Now, why did Jay-Z feel like he had to call Micheal Eric Dyson about this beef? Vince says, I was on Drake's side of the beef for once. I like Kendrick. I chose Meek and Pusha T over Drake before. So, yeah, listen, most people, in my opinion, in the beginning of the battle, I never chose a side. I was on the side of hip-hop, right? I wanted the battle to go as far as it could have went. I felt like people were too eager to call it. They were too eager. Like as soon as Kendrick caught a hit record, people were saying, okay, he won. He won. I wanted the battle to go as long as it could have. I wanted to see somebody get knocked out eventually. And I'm talking about, on a lyrical tip or on a, something like that. Not necessarily, nothing criminal. I wanted to see these two take it as far as they could have. But people were so eager to call the battle. I was on the side of hip hop. I wanted, more music. I wanted more songs. I wanted more lyrics. I wanted more breakdowns. But people were so eager to call this battle. But let's get back into Micheal Eric Dyson. Why do y'all feel Jay-Z had to call Micheal Eric Dyson? You would think Jay-Z has more important things to do, right? All the businesses that he has going on, or the NFL, raising his kids. You would think Jay-Z would have more on his plate than a Drake and Kendrick battle in 2026. But he decided to call Micheal Eric Dyson in regards of that beef. And that he felt like Micheal Eric Dyson was wrong. And what he was saying and the point he was articulating. Let's continue.
better known as Jay-Z. Now, I don't usually talk about the conversations that Jay-Z and I have because that's between us. That's why we remain friends, because I ain't out here blabbing about what we talk about. But he hit me up and he vigorously disagreed with my particular position. He said it with dignity.
So Jay-Z got to him. Jay-Z got to him, right? And then he apologized for even he apologized for even saying that. When you apologizing for telling someone about a conversation, then you know somebody's been compromised. Somebody's been compromised at this particular point in time, right? But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he allowed his true feelings about Kendrick Lamar and the things he was saying in that battle. He allowed them to, you know, he allowed his real opinions to get out into the atmosphere, which was, I think, was true about what he said. I think a lot of the things that he said had a lot of point. He had a lot of point in what he was saying. There was a concerted effort from Kendrick Lamar to diminish the blackness of Drake. To say, hey, I'm more blacker than him. I'm more realer than him. I'm more official than him. When in reality, that's not the case at all. Fire! 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 Vince says, I just wasn't impressed with the first diss. F a big 3. It's just big me. Yeah, you know, I wasn't impressed with that like that verse as well. I think that people pumped up that like that verse Not a bad verse, but I think people pumped it up. You know, I think that Kendrick has been good at stirring up drama in moments. But when you really go back to that Control verse, it wasn't that good. It was just the fact that he called out all these rappers' names and challenged them. When you go back to the Like That verse, it wasn't that this verse was so incredible. It was the fact that he was challenging Drake and J. Cole and saying F the big three, it's big me. So when you go back to some of his verses, like when people go back, you're gonna say, I mean, was this really just this incredible verse? Are you gonna compare it to Biggie, Flavor in Your Ear? Are you gonna compare it to Lloyd Banks on the Victory Freestyle? Are you gonna say this is one of the best verses you ever heard? No, it was more so about the moment. It was the moment, right? Now, like I said, Jay-Z got to Micheal Eric Dyson. You know, he was blabbing too much, and he had to apologize.
I remember once when Kanye posted publicly a text exchange between us that was private, and I was hurt by that. And I'm thinking about that because I've done the same thing to Jay-Z. No, I didn't publicly post a text, but I talked about a private exchange between us.
Because Jay-Z didn't want that to get out. Jay-Z didn't want that to get out. Jay-Z didn't want the fact that he was belittling Drake. He didn't want that out there. He didn't want that out there that he was colluding in terms of let's bring Kendrick Lamar on the Super Bowl stage. Let's kick in that Canada niggas back in even more. He didn't want that to be let out. He didn't want people to know that he had something to do with putting Kendrick on that Super Bowl stage, and he was, helping. He wanted to look like, oh no, this Kendrick had this crazy year, and then that's why we called him. No, nigga. You was colluding with these niggas. Cause you've been hating on Drake, like a lot of people have been, right? It's not just Charlamagne and Ebro and these niggas. There's other niggas that's hating on Drake. Not just one nigga. They have been mad at that light-skinned nigga for a long time because he reigned with an iron fist for 15 years. He didn't let up on these niggas. So he pretty much has apologized. But, because really, I want to focus on what he said in his initial thing, because pretty much he would just cop and please, and, he just cop and please at that particular point in time, right? Now we have to get to the moment of today. Today, TDE Punch, he is the label owner. Let me see if I can pull that up. TDE Punch. He's one of the founders of TDE. TDE Punch. He's a part of TDE. He's responsible for signing Ab-Soul, and he's helped with the label. Their first signing, J-Rock. Then they signed Kendrick Lamar. So he's responsible for a lot of the artists that came out of TDE, Kendrick Lamar and J-Rock and all these guys. So he's one of the founders of the TDE thing, right? He put out a song because he is a part-time artist. He put out a song criticizing Micheal Eric Dyson for saying what he said about Drake. Now let's play that record. Let's play this record of TDE Punch clapping at Micheal Eric Dyson. And now these guys are, in my opinion, with this record, they are going further and saying, yeah, Drake is not black. He's not black like us. So let's continue.
I'm taking game-winning shots with my wrist up, screaming cash, braggadocious black man making my coaching staff mad. Boy, I feel like Anthony Edwards, you don't want me to pass. The first option when seconds left, you want the rock in my hands. Come on, dawg, it's just mad. When infinite is the sure name, how long will he last? Don't get asked. Too many yes men round you know when you ask. We live heavy, you lightweight to the mass. Now I gotta ask, Vonnie, what made you get this deep in your bag? She'll probably laugh and say the family's sleeping, making me mad. I know it's hard pushing a vision that your people can't grasp. I left my city once, ain't have to look back. Y'all gon' shoot for the max.
Yeah. Once you know the prophet, mirrors ride like the 4 horses of the apocalypse. I'm foreshadowing, balancing options. The outcome was written in advance. It's all a part of the same doctrine. Dumb niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. I disagree vigorously. Here's a response. I'm sorry, Dr. Micheal Eric Dyson, but this is a whole indictment. This ain't about dark or light skin. I think you lost sight of what the fight has been.
See, that was the bar. He said, Dr. Eric Dyson, I think this ain't about dark or light skin. No, nigga, this has never been about dark or light skin. This has been about you diminishing Drake's blackness. That's what this is about. So now you guys are moving the goalposts.
In order to win, we have to cleanse from within. Treat them cancer cells before we can excel. This ain't about rhetorical skills. It's about who got the morals to build. The house versus the field. It's about who gon'
now Drake is a house nigga and Kendrick is the field nigga. I'm just listening to the bars.
Say something real. Niggas only discuss blackness for fashion. Put it all in their captions and hashtag it. But when it's time for action, who get it bracking?
Who on TDE is putting in action for the black community? I'm just listening to these bars. Maybe I should pull these bars up. Who in TDE is on the front line for black people? Because I'm just listening to these lyrics. I'm just listening to these bars, right? And this is my problem with TDE. This is my problem with Kendrick. This is my problem with that label. Listen, Kendrick won the battle. It was a great battle. It was great for the moment. It was great for hip hop. You know, but we gotta call a spade a spade. That whole battle was self-serving. That battle wasn't for the black community. That battle wasn't for LA. That battle wasn't to save hip hop. That battle was self-serving for Kendrick Lamar. He is the only one that benefited out of that battle. Fire! 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 Who else benefited from that battle? Who else benefited? Salute to Couture. I see Couture's in the building. Who else benefited from that battle? Who can we say benefited? Did any LA artists? Did any LA artists in this photo? Did any of them get a platinum album out of that moment? Did any of them get a feature out of that moment? Did it create any new stars out of LA? That battle was self-serving. But TDE, they want to push this narrative that, oh, we were fighting for black people. We're getting rid of Drake, and Drake was at the top, and he was just this cancer, and he was just so anti-black, and we had to get him out of here. That's the narrative that they've been pushing. But what was the replacement? I don't see nobody from TDE on the front line for black people. I don't see y'all. I don't see none of this. Let me get to some of the comments in here. Couture says, did he say who get it bracket? Yeah, he said we the ones who get it bracket. Let me play that bar all over again. Let me play up it, because I don't want to hear this whole track. I don't like this track. This track is kind of trash. It's like, it's like it ain't really saying nothing. It ain't really saying much. Let me play up into the Micheal Eric Dyson part. See if I can get to that part.
Treat them cancer cells.
Yeah, that was before. That was around here.
Dumb niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. I disagree vigorously. Here's a response. I'm sorry, Dr. Micheal Eric Dyson, but this is a whole indictment. This ain't about dark or light skin. I think
Give me 1 second.
you lost sight of what the fight has been. In order to win, we have to cleanse from within. Treat them cancer cells before we can excel. This ain't about rhetorical skills. It's about who got the morals to build. The house versus the field. It's about who gon' say something real. Niggas only discuss blackness for fashion. Put it all in their captions and hashtag it. But when it's time for action, who get it bracking?
What exactly is TDE getting bracking when it comes to black improvement? When it comes to black, just on the front lines, I'm looking at that as the barometer. I don't see Kendrick Lamar on the front lines for black people. I'm just calling a spade a spade. I mean, all of y'all, Kendrick, listen, if you love Kendrick Lamar's music, I think that's a beautiful thing. If you feel like his music makes you a better person, if you feel like his music is enlightening, if you feel like it's great, if you think it's critically acclaimed, all of that sounds great. But this whole notion that Kendrick Lamar is this savior, or he's helping, or he's better than Drake because he's on the front lines, that is absolutely cap. None of these rappers are on the front lines. They're on the front line for a Grammy. They're on the front line helping, making sure you make it to that concert so they can get paid. They want to make sure that their streams is up. But all of these rappers, acting like they're revolutionaries and they're changing the status quo of the music industry, that is absolute cap and narrative. Absolute cap and narrative. And let's be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck, because Dr. Umar said this one time, and I agree with what Umar said one time. He said that if one of these rappers that had the influence, right, if a rapper like a Kendrick Lamar, think about all the influence and cultural currency that Kendrick Lamar has, he could be 10 times more powerful than what a Martin Luther King would be. He could be 10 times more powerful than what a Malcolm X would be. But the reality is, none of these niggas is that. They're not that. And I'm not saying that they are. I'm not even saying that they're trying to be that. But you have people that look at them like that. Or try to make narratives that they're like that, when in reality, they're not. And getting back to the point of, them running this narrative that we're black and Drake is not black and he's not like us. I just think that whole narrative has just it's been debunked. It's been debunked. And like I said, who is Kendrick Lamar? Let me put this nigga up on the screen. Hold on, give me a second. Put this nigga on the screen. Put this man on the screen. Who is Kendrick Lamar to question anyone's blackness? Who is this man? Who is this man to question anyone's blackness? Drake is a biracial half-breed. His mother's Jewish. His father's from Memphis. That's his lineage. Who is Kendrick Lamar to question anyone's blackness? And please don't say that's not what Kendrick said in the battle. He said that in the battle. He said, how many black features do you need before you feel that you're black enough? That's the narrative that he ran with. He ran with Drake is not black enough. Drake is not like us. Drake is not like us. But I'm just asking the question, who is Kendrick Lamar to question anyone's blackness? He ain't been on the front line for black people. He ain't been, I've never seen him I've never think about all he could be doing. I've never seen him, at the UN talking on behalf of reparations. I've never seen him on the front lines for any type of hate crime bill that could protect black people. He made a song one time, said, "We're gonna be all right." At best, that's the most he's done for black people, was make a song called "We're Gonna Be All Right." That's the most he's done for black people. But you guys are trying to put him up on this pedestal, respectfully. No disrespect to him. No disrespect to him. But you're putting him on this pedestal. I'm talking about more so his fans and the label TDE running around with his narrative. But I felt like Micheal Eric Dyson had points on what he was saying. He had points. Let's play what Micheal Eric Dyson had to say one more time. Right? Because I felt like, and another thing, I don't like the fact that they're clapping at Micheal Eric Dyson. What are you mad at Micheal Eric Dyson for having an opinion on what Kendrick Lamar tried to do? He tried to de-black Drake. He put false allegations of him being a PDF. He just debunking and just, talking about how ridiculous the battle was ridiculous, right? The battle was ridiculous. There was a lot of ridiculous moments in the battle. There was a lot of things that probably shouldn't have been said. But he was just calling it out. Let me get to this real quick. Let me just get back to what Micheal Eric Dyson had to say. Loyalty, royalty in my DNA. Okay, you're naming songs from, I guess, the song DNA. Let me just play what Micheal Eric Dyson had to say one more time.
I remember I worked at Fox Sports and there was a big argument. Fuck him, he's half. And I was like, the whole
internal. Oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Most people would acknowledge Kendrick as genius, but not Drake, right? Drake is commercially viable. He's a monster. He sells records. But is he as deep as he is
there's a
deep?
genius to that, though.
Oh, come on, bro. You understand that. Drake.
And another thing, I hate when people try to compare. I don't want Drake to be deep like Kendrick Lamar. I don't want Kendrick Lamar to be, to make love songs like Drake. Every artist is different. This artist ain't gonna be like that artist. That artist ain't gonna be like this artist. Everybody's different. I'm just saying everybody's different, man. Everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own sound. Everybody has their own talents. And that's just what it is.
Is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar implicitly and explicitly, not like us. The song is the song, whatever you think about it. But the notion itself, big distinction, us versus them. And they're trying to de-black Drake, right? Oh, he's not really black.
And that was the narrative online. Literally, there were people online, right? There were people online that wasn't even black. People online that wasn't even black saying that Drake ain't black. Now, for Kendrick to have people online, and I know this is not his fault. He just made a diss record, right? I know that part is not his fault. He just made a diss record. People ran with it, right? But the fact that you got people that ain't even black discrediting Drake's blackness is absolutely ridiculous.
Because he grew up in Canada, I grew up in Compton. Bro, you're reducing blackness to Compton? Did you not know that black people fled America going to Canada to escape the iron tyranny of enslavement? And he ain't black. His daddy is black. He went to Memphis every summer. The Memphis Horns fill his music, the first albums Drake made. His grandmama babysat Aretha Franklin. Really? And his uncle is Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. How much, what black card he got to show? And on his album, Damn, that won the Pulitzer Prize, I like to remind the acolytes of Mr. Lamar that he says, I ain't black, don't call me black no more, because he was in the Black Hebrew stuff. And Drake said, light skin, but still a dark N-word. So I'm saying, that's your God? So to me, yeah, that still exists. You're not as black as me. You're not as righteous as me. What did he say? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. What other figure in black music has ever been called a colonizer? Because he experiments widely with music. Kendrick, who put you on tour first? Oh, it was a guy named Drake. So this inability to not only have gratitude for where you came from, but to understand blackness is far deeper and more exhaustive than any one nationality or race or people can make it.
I remember.
And that was Micheal Eric Dyson's point. That they tried to, and when I say they, I'm saying Kendrick Lamar and the people that run with his team. They tried to diminish blackness into one thing. They tried to discredit Drake's heritage because Drake has foundational Black American heritage. They tried to diminish that, right? That's what this was. That's what his point was about. TDE Punch is talking about dark skin, light skin. No, that wasn't the point. The point was that you tried to diminish Drake's blackness. You tried to say whatever, he's from Canada and yada, yada, yada. The man spent time in Memphis with his family. We all got cousins from different places, from down south, across the country, Cali, all types of places. We all got family from all different types. Some people got family back in Jamaica. Some people got family back in all these different countries and all these different places. Does that disqualify their blackness? Because they ended up some other place? Or are you guys saying he's not black because he got a Jewish mother? Like, it's just ridiculous at this point in time. And then you got the whole realization that you got Kendrick Lamar. He has a fan base of predominantly white people that come out to his concerts. I mean, most rappers do. And they saying the N-word in the crowd during the whole concert. You got people you got white people that go to Kendrick Lamar concerts and they're yelling the N-word from the top of their lungs. But you got songs discrediting Drake's blackness. Vince says, Kendrick rubs me the wrong way, like one of them short dudes who hate on you just because you tall. That's a fact. He's kind of a hater. He's kind of a hater. I'm not even trying to kick in his back, but he's kind of a hater. I mean, this whole battle was really about him hating on Drake. You was hating the reign of Drake, and you decided to do something about it. And I'm not mad at him, but I mean, that's what this battle was really about. It wasn't about, big me, big this, or whatever that nonsense he was talking about. You were just hating on Drake because of his dominance, and your last album flopped. So you decided to say, you know what? Let me go back to the control verse. Let me try to, start something with this guy to try to get some, extra motion for my music. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I think it was really about. He wanted to revitalize his career because his career wasn't looking too good. That Mr. Morale album wasn't selling too well. Let's go to the first week numbers of that album. Let's tell the truth. Mr. Morale. First week. His last album sold 295 units. Think about it. He went from Damn, which sold about 600. Hold on. Damn. First week sales. Damn sold 603 copies his first week. Fire! So he goes from 603 copies, 600,000 copies his first week to, doing a meager 295 first week. You don't think beefing with Drake and starting, using that as a rollout, using that as a promotion, you don't think that went into his head? You don't think that was the cause of this whole thing, was to help his streams, help his numbers? But, his fans and his team, they're never going to admit it. They're going to say, oh, no, he just had issues with Drake and he had to get it off his chest and he was doing it for hip hop and he was doing it for all of us. He wanted to save hip hop. That's the narrative. But in reality, if we're talking business, if we're talking turkey, he did it because his sales was falling off.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Yeah, his sales was falling off. We're just talking turkey. Vince says Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers was ass. But listen, y'all, I don't really have much to say about this topic. I just want to talk about this for a little bit. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of TDE Punch's diss track to Micheal Eric Dyson. Do you agree with Micheal Eric Dyson's initial point before he started copping pleas because Jay-Z called him? Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Salute to Vince, salute to FBA, salute to Couture, salute to everybody that was in the chat. And I'll see you guys another live, man. We out.